Good evening, everybody. This is Brittany freaking Chavez, and we're here tonight to do some life path readings. And life path readings tonight will be $25, and that is just to really quickly explain for anybody who hasn't ever maybe watched life path readings before. They are readings that tell you about what's going on in your spirit. They're readings that talk about your energy, and they talk about what you need to know, body, mind, love and emotions, and spirit, about the time that you're experiencing right now and about what you'll be experiencing in the future. And it's a really good way to give you some advice, really, to move forward and to, yes, to understand the energy that surrounds you. So anybody who would like a life path reading, my payment is in the description below. And remember, when I go live to do these life path readings, they're actually like super cheap because when I do them privately, I charge a lot more, like almost 3 times is what I charge when I do them live. So I'm glad to be here tonight, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Real quick, Pinky says they would like a message. Hi, Pinky. I'm glad to see you again. So I will be doing 1 card draws as well for people who would like them. And also on this live stream, feel free to ask me anything. If you have like a question, spiritual question, topic, I love to talk, and I would love to do that. So really quick, I am going to pull a message for Pinky, and then we're going to jump right into the life path readings, and we're going to do a life path reading for Kayla first. Kayla goes first, and then Hilda, and anybody else who would like a life path reading, like I said, just feel free to send me those dollars. My payment links are listed in the description. So Pinky, we've got 1 card for you. Pinky, you got the coyote. So the coyote a lot of times is like a symbol of chaos. Like it's not like something like horrible, right? But it's usually like somebody is causing chaos in your life. There's somebody who's playing the coyote on you. So like think about like Wile E. Coyote in the Looney Tunes, how they're always like playing tricks on the they're always playing tricks on the Roadrunner. So you're the Roadrunner in this experience right now, and somebody's trying to create chaos in your life. So of course my message to you is people can only create chaos if you allow them to. So look out for chaos, right? Look out for people who are going to try to rock the boat and upset your emotional balance. Maybe now, maybe today, or maybe in the coming week. Just look out for that, and don't let people upset you unless you want to be upset, right? Sometimes your emotional power has a lot of influence, and it can be very strong, very powerful, very magical to have a strong emotional reaction. If you are very sad about something or you're very angry about something, sometimes that inspires you to action that you otherwise wouldn't have been inspired to take if you wouldn't have felt such strong emotional power. So if you want to feel that strong emotional power, then that's good, but also it's okay to remain balanced. So that's my message to you, Pinky, and I hope that one's helpful. Here we go. Here we go, Kayla. So I'm going to go ahead. This is my Nahuali animal deck, and this is what I'm going to be doing, those 1 card readings. So anybody watching this live stream, if you would like a free 1 card reading, feel free to comment on this stream, and after I am through with the life path reading, I will do a 1 card draw for you. Really quick, Nikki says tenant hasn't paid the rent in 4 months. Yeah, that sounds like a lot a lot of chaos energy. And then we're going to be doing our life path readings tonight from the Toltec Oracle. So I'll show you what these cards look like. And we've got 2 cards, right? We've got the Tonal, which is like everyday life, and we've got the Nagual, and this is the energy of like deities and like big moving energy in your life. So if it was like a tarot deck, this would be like minor arcana, major arcana. So let's go ahead and shuffle these cards, Kayla, and we'll get started with the life path reading. And you guys who are watching this stream, these readings usually take a decent amount of time. They're 5 cards. They are 5 card readings. So they're a very in-depth reading about your life, about your energy, about the things that you're going through, and really, like I said, about how to traverse the energy, how to traverse what you're experiencing, how to move forward. So these are great card readings if you're looking to, like start something new in your life, or if you're feeling stuck, or if you want to make a really big decision. I mean, these are really good readings for you. Anybody who gets a life path reading tonight, if you would like a more in-depth, like type up or something of this, I usually give people send people emails or documents with these. You can private message me, and I would love to give you the write-up that goes with this too. But if this is fine, this is great too. I don't need to give you those. If you feel like this reading is comprehensive enough, you don't need them. So we've got one more card, Kayla, and then we've pulled them all. Okay, so just looking at these and not telling you what they are, Kayla, this is big energy. So yeah, get ready. She said she was nervous. So here we go, Kayla. So your ruling card, this is like the first card in the spread, and this talks about really the other cards. It talks about your life. It talks about the ruling energy that is kind of influencing you right now, and that is influencing the problems that are coming up in your life, that is influencing the solutions that are coming up in your life, and it's influencing basically how things are playing out in your life right now. So the card I picked for your ruling energy is Tonal Nagual. Tonal Nagual is father, son, and this is like a really wild picture of people like throwing themselves into the fire. I believe this talks about the creation story, and it's very interesting, right? So of course, fire is this great energy of transmutation, and when fire like comes up in this reading as like your ruling energy, you're being asked to be a little bit more serious about your life. You're asked to be a little bit more serious than you have been in the recent past. And so father, son, Tonal Nagual asks you to be serious, right? If you're not getting the results that you need to see in your life, what are you doing that is not creating results? Are you spending your life doing things that are not enjoyable, that are not helpful to you? Are you just kind of wasting your time? Or are you like creating measured movements and moving forward? And this goes into every facet of your life. This is your ruling energy. So what this means is Tonal Nagual is asking you to be serious about your life right now, to be a little more serious, to take things seriously. And it's time to also look at your energy flow. Honestly, this is a really to reevaluate your energy, to reevaluate how you feel, to reevaluate your job, to reevaluate your friend circle, to reevaluate close partnerships in your life. It's time to reevaluate. And so what you're going to be thinking about throughout this reading, right? And after we get done with this reading, you're going to be thinking, what things in my life are helpful to me? What things do I need to nurture more? What things do I need to maybe drop for a time or completely cut out of my life to move forward? Okay. And so this is the big question. This is the ruling energy, and it guards all these other cards that we're going to go into. So the next card that we're going to look at is we're going to look at what's going on in your physical body. So this is like physical health. This is physical wealth. These are your material possessions. This is material. Okay. Material body wellness. And so the card that you got is Sepectili Dragon, right? Sepectili Dragon for your body. The dragon is a very interesting message. I'm very attracted to dragons, by the way. I actually have this like big dragon tattoo like all up and down my leg. But the medicine of the dragon says that if you do not make peace with your power will consume you. And of course, this is a message in your body, especially a message that maybe you have been misusing your body. Maybe you haven't been treating it as well as you should have. And something I like to tell people, whether it's like a health reading or one of these life path readings, is you only get one body, guys. There's always ways to mend, to heal, to rejuvenate. But sometimes we need that like kick in the pants to say, look, you're not doing the right things with your body. And this is kind of the message that maybe you need to pay a little bit more attention to your body. Sometimes when Sepectilian Dragon comes up, like in your body quadrant, it's a message that like you actually physically need to pay attention to your health. Like maybe you should go schedule like a doctor's visit, like a checkup. So if you feel like there's been some health issues that you've had that you've neglected in the past, now is the time to get on like a more proactive wavelength, a more proactive energy to take care of your body a lot better. Sometimes this can also talk about or manifest sexuality, like how you're sexually using your body. Sometimes, not always, sometimes this talks about you not using your physical senses, like actually experiencing sex as like a wonderful, engaging, healing experience in your own body, and you're kind of like repressing yourself sexually. That's not always the message. Sometimes it is. A lot of times it's more a health message, but I mean, it could be a message of sexuality and like unlocking your sexuality and understanding that sex is more than anything that your parents taught you, probably. It's more than what religion taught you. It's more than what the world glamorizes and glorifies, like in movies and in the media. Sex is a really powerful tool, honestly, for healing and for manifestation and for wellness overall wellness. And so it might be time to explore your sexuality and maybe in a different lens, to maybe look at the healing potential, to maybe look at the potential for manifestation, to look at the magical, properties of sex and what that can feel like and what that can look like. And also not using sex in a way that is disassociative, right? Because I feel like especially in our culture, for a lot of people, sex can be like a drug almost. Like it's a way for them to disassociate from their life and from who they are. And they engage in these activities, but they're not really present in their body. So it's not like this healing experience. Instead, it's like a drug. It's not like medicine. So make sure that you're using your body like medicine. Make sure that you're enjoying your body. Make sure you're enjoying physical senses. On the other side of this, make sure that you're not denying yourself pleasure, denying yourself physical pleasure in the physical body. And so, like I said, sometimes this overall speaks to an imbalance in the body, like an imbalance, something that you are ignoring. So this could mean that maybe you're overworking yourself a little bit, and you've become disconnected from that more pleasurable experience of being alive. And I want to remind everybody here watching this live stream that we need to have that give and take and that balance in our body, especially when talking about the physical world and the physical manifestation of who we are. What happens to our body physically and our physical health, our physical wellness, our sexuality, that all affects our energy. It affects our connection to the divine. It affects our connection to ourselves. And so the message of the dragon, especially in the body, is now is the time to pay more attention to your body. Pay more attention. If you feel like, again, that you've been neglecting your body in whatever facet, whether that's exercise, whether that's food, whether that's your sexuality, if you feel like you've been neglecting yourself, now is the time to stop. And so the dragon, like I said, it's a very clear message that if you don't pay more attention, you will get sick. So it doesn't mean that you have to get sick. It doesn't mean something bad has to happen. It means that if you don't listen and you don't balance your life, then other things will happen, and your life will force you to live balance. And a lot of times people crop up with illnesses. They crop up with like weird things. Like, I don't know, like I swear I had this client like 2 years ago, and they like broke everything. Like I would like do a reading for them 1 month and they would break an ankle. And then the next month they broke their arm, and then they broke their other wrist. And it was like every single month I talked to this person, I'm like, what is going on in your body? Like something is going on. This is a warning sign. Like things keep manifesting and cropping up because there's imbalance somewhere. And so what this is a lot of times dragon is a message that there is imbalance somewhere, and you have the opportunity to take care of that imbalance before it manifests as something more serious. And so, like I said, nothing scary. I don't believe in like scary readings and stuff like that. It's just a message, paying more attention to you, pay more attention to your health, your body, your wellness. Those are very important aspects of yourself. Now, this is really cool. This is really super cool. So remember, our ruling energy is Tona Tiu, the sun, Tona Tiu. Now we're going to look at your mind quadrant. That was a big one too, by the way, Kayla, super sorry. But we're going to look at your mind right now, what's going on with the energy of your mind, and how can we move forward in the mind. And so the card that I got for your mind is Xochitl flower, or Xochitl flower. So you got the flower in the mind, which is a message of like blooming, opening, expanding, becoming more. But this is not a message of like chance or fate, right? This is not a message that this movement, this development in your mind, it's not something that happened out of nowhere. You've been paying attention to your mind. You've been putting energy and attention there. You've been putting energy and attention towards the way that you think about things, right? So towards your thought patterns, towards the way that you are, towards the way that you think, towards the way of being, mindset. You've been putting a lot of energy towards this. And so what you're experiencing is almost like a blooming, you might be experiencing what a lot of people refer to as enlightenment. You may feel very close to source or God or spirituality at this time in your life. And so that's really super wonderful. The message here is, the message in the flower in your mind is that continue to nourish, because if you fall out of balance, sometimes you lose that blooming energy in your mind. Sometimes you lose that divine connection. Sometimes you lose that spiritual growth. Right now, you're experiencing it and you're probably enjoying it. Everybody enjoys that feeling of like connection, that feeling of like, I'm not alone, that feeling of like great expansion, like I'm really moving and growing and shifting and working through things. So pay attention to it. That's how we continue to make more of those times in our lives. That's how we continue to develop spiritually. We pay attention to our spiritual selves. We pay attention to our mind. This is, I think, a good confirmation for you if you have been working on you know, negativity. You've been working on like negative thought patterns, limiting beliefs, letting go of things, especially in your mind, that hold you back. This shows me that you've been doing a lot of work in that aspect. Like I said, your mind, it's like this beautiful flower. It's blooming. Tonatui comes here to remind you that you must keep giving the flower sun. Okay, this could be a message, like a really clear message for you to actually go out and be in the sun. Now, if you are a person like me with not a lot of melanin, you have to be careful in the sun and not overexpose yourself, of course. But one of my favorite ways to connect to the sun and to help improve my mind, my energy, is to go out in the morning for the sunrise, to sit and to watch the sun come up. And the same thing at twilight when the sun starts to go down, I go out and I watch the sun go down. Those are the most powerful times that we can receive transmission and energy from the sun. Okay, so these are very important times, and they happen twice a day, right? In the morning for sunrise, at the night for sunset. And this is something that you can do. You can go outside and you can connect to the sun, you can watch the sun, and you can actually breathe in the sun, breathe in the power of the sun. So when you're staring at the sun, and again, this is a magical exercise, guys. Maybe you stare at the sun with your eyes closed, is what I do. So I stare at the sun, we're facing the sun, you breathe in the sun's power, the sun's energy, and this transmits healing energy into your body, into your mind, into your spirit. And I believe it helps people with spiritual evolution. I feel like it helps us upgrade our consciousness and understand the things that we need to know. I feel like the sun is a great transmitter. And I think that's why there has been throughout history a lot of cults who worship the sun, like the Aztecs, like the Maya. All of these people worship the sun. And there are so many other people throughout history, like the Egyptians. The Egyptians were another sun cult. So a lot of people, a lot of ancients worship the sun because they believed in that power of restoration and regeneration that people can experience through the sun. And so this is a message. This is a message for you guys. The sun is very powerful and that you need to continue nourishing your mind. Okay. April said she would like a reading like this. April, you are one of my Patreon people. I will read for you after I read for Hilda. And anybody else catching the live stream, if you would like to get a 1-card reading, just comment. Or if you'd like one of these LifePath readings, just send me some dollars. So we're going to move forward now, Kayla. We looked at body. We looked at mind. We've got to go to emotions next. So we're going to look at what's going on in your love region of your life, in your emotions relationship of your life. And so what you got is Kia Weetal Rain. You got Kia Weetal Rain in your emotions. And so when rain shows up and manifests in the emotions, it's kind of this message that you've been neglecting some important relationships in your life. Okay. And the message that kind of comes up for me is, it's not that you think you're better than other people. It's that you think you're separate than some other people. And so because you feel this separation between you and these other people who are important, you've neglected that relationship. And so remember, rain is this fertilizing potential, and rain speaks to the ability to nurture and to nourish. A lot of people, especially in more new age spirituality, I feel like they've gotten on this like train where, you know, you cut off everything that's toxic, cut it off, cut it off, cut it off. And I am not one to speak about this, right? Pot calling the kettle. I have family that I still don't speak to, and I have family that I haven't spoken to in 10 years who I'm just now speaking to again. Okay, so I do feel like sometimes you need to preserve yourself, to protect yourself. You do need to step away and to let people be on their own. But just because you step away, make sure that you're not stepping away out of anger, is I guess what I'm trying to say. And don't step away because you know, somebody hurt your feelings and you're avoiding something, basically. If you step away, make sure it's a power move. Make sure that you're doing this and it protects your balance and it's something that is helpful for you and that you don't feel ill will towards these people. If you feel ill will towards people, whether that's family or people who were really good friends with you for a long time, and you don't try to repair that on your end, that can lead you with a lot of energetic holes, or so to speak. And so the message here is you're not separate from anybody, no matter what they've done to you, no matter what kind of person they are, no matter what experiences you've had with these people. Even if they were really rough, really horrible experiences, these people are still a part of humanity. They're still a part of you, and you cannot be separate from these people. I know that sometimes is a hard message to hear. And so it could be a message to reach out to somebody who you haven't spoken to in a long time. Maybe you haven't spoken to this person in a while. It could be maybe 5 years or more. could be a shorter time than that, but that's not what I'm feeling. It's been a while since you've talked to these people, and now is the time to repair things, not for them, but for you. And you don't have to take people's abuse just because you decide to step in and repair a relationship. And you might get this message and get this reading and be like, hell no, I am not talking to those people. Now is not the time. But still, this plants the seed, and hopefully the rain will help fertilize that connection in your mind. My goal with these readings is to see where you have energetic holes or energy that's a little chaotic, and to get your energy kind of like smooth and even so that it's able to flow. And so when we deny parts of ourselves, when we deny parts of our family, or like I said, even friends that have been, we were friends with them for a long time, or they were really important friends, and for some reason the friendships fell off, it literally creates almost like dams or blockages in your energy body. And so your energy just can't move and flow because you have one part of yourself that you're neglecting. So like I said, if you've stepped away from important people, make sure that you're doing it as a power move and not as a way to spite them, or as a way to say, I'm not going to talk to you because whatever. Does that make sense? I'm trying to I feel like that message didn't come across the way that I'm trying to put it out there. So let me try to explain it a different way. So Kayla, what I'm trying to say here is people who are important to you, you should still send them love, or you should eventually get to a point in your healing where you're able to send them love, where you're able to look at them, to think of them, maybe even to send them text or talk to them on the phone, and not feel hatred or not feel some kind of way when you think about them. And that's because hatred is a burning poison that poisons you. Okay, it doesn't poison them. If you have hatred towards somebody else, they don't care about it. Probably because they're used to making everybody else mad, and they're very insensitive or not self-aware at all. So if you have any kind of strong emotion like that, that is a place where you can have those energetic dams, energetic blocks and holes in your life. And so get rid of the holes, get rid of the dams, and break away those barriers in your life. There is a really beautiful quote by Rumi, and let's see if I can find it. Let's see. The quote goes something like, the only thing that we have to do to find love in our life is to remove all barriers, right? And so I can't find the quote now. If I can find it, I'll send it to you later. But to experience love, to experience unconditional love, to experience love from the spirit, to experience connection from spirit, that spiritual connection that we're all searching for, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. Your whole life, you have been built up, and you have had people tell you that you're not good enough. You've had people tell you that you're horrible for the things that you do. You've had people tell you that you just simply aren't amounting to their idea of what success is. This is what people do to us, even if they love us, even if they're, teachers or pastors or family members or something like that. They tell us these things because they believe that their harsh words will drive us to be better. And what those harsh words do instead is they sit and they ruminate in our mind, and they make us believe that we are not worth it. And that's a lie. It's a damn lie. You are worth everything. And so you have to remove those barriers that other people have put inside of you so your energy can continue to flow. Kayla says, my son's father, who is coming to mind, he's difficult for me, but he's important because we have to co-parent. Yeah. And I mean, maybe that's a relationship that you haven't given enough nurture to. Sometimes when you co-parent, it's hard. It's hard to feel like, this person is an equal. This person is a human as well. This person is an important human. This is one of my kids' parents. This is very important. This is an important human. So I guess my advice, if that person comes to mind, my advice to you would be, you don't have to be buddy-buddy. You don't have to be super friendly. You don't even have to call this dude and talk to him all the time. But when you think of him, you should at the very least, have neutral thoughts. Neutral. If you can't get to a place of thinking like, I super love this human just because they're alive, like I said, sometimes it's difficult depending on who they are and what they've done. But if you can at least come to a place where you feel neutral about them, where you're just like, nah, they're alive and so am I, and life is good. Instead of like, I don't know, I'm just getting this like cartoon idea of like your eyes being on fire every time you look at him, like, oh, this guy. So make sure that it's not causing you emotional balance to think about this person. And if you do have to have that connection with them, and you do have to talk with them and work with them, you're a partner with this person, it's important that you feel at least neutral. If you're not feeling positive about them, at least neutral. And the last thing that we're going to look at, Kayla, is your spirit. Okay, so the message is your spirit. And what you got in your spirit, this is my least favorite sign, but you got tech pottle flint. And so in this card, you see somebody, they are a spirit worker and they are working on themselves, as we all will for the rest of our lives. And a hand extends from the clouds to give them blessing. And so Tech Pottle is a message, Kayla, of hard work. It's a message of hard work. This means, you know, all that yada yada that I always say about spirituality. It's like the Buddha says, right? It's better to travel well than to arrive, right? Because spirituality is not a destination. Life is not a destination. This journey is not a destination. It is a path. It is a walk forward. It is a step forward. It is a progression. It is always moving forward and getting better. Okay, that is what this life is, Kayla. And so the message here is no matter how much work you do, as a spiritual person, you will always have more work to do. And so this is a message to sharpen yourself. A lot of time, tech pottle in the spirit means this is another sign of that meditation, right? It's a sign that you must meditate. You must, if meditation's not your jam, you must find some sort of spiritual practice and devote your time to spirituality at least 15 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. Do something that you can do that is consistent, right? Consistency is key. Consistency is the most important thing. So if you're going to read, you know, spirituality books or self-help books or books that help you feel, you know, more connected to the divine, or maybe listen to an inspirational YouTube video. I like to listen to Abraham Hicks when I'm looking for more like inspiration. I like throw one of her videos on. I'm like, yes, I am good to listen to this. Or like I said, meditation can work, ritual can work, all of those things can work, but you have to do something for yourself. This is a message that you need to be more methodical about the way that you're approaching your spirituality, and that is the key to moving forward and to creating a better connection for yourself. And remember, Tona Tui, the sun, that's your ruling card. It's your ruling energy for all of these other cards. Tona Tui says you have to get serious. You have to get serious. So overall, I don't feel like there's anything like wild or crazy going on in your energy, but it is a message to be more serious with yourself, more serious about what you want in life and how you're moving forward. And I hope that one's helpful, Kayla. And so I'm going to go ahead and look through all of these messages now. And oh my gosh, so many people commented. Thank you so much. Hi, April. April, like I said, after I read for Hilda, I will read your life path reading. Darla says she would like a reading, and Lizzie says she would like a reading. That's perfect. So you guys, I am doing life path readings tonight. And if you'd like a life path reading, just go ahead and send me $25. I got my payment guys listed in the descriptions. If you'd like a 1-card reading, I'll get you a 1-card reading for free tonight. And we'll just look at the energy that surrounds you and kind of give you a message based on that. So we'll go ahead and we'll pull a card for Darla, and then we're going to go ahead and move on and do a life path reading for Hilda. Okay, Darla, I've got one of these Nahuali cards for you. Oh, Darla, this is very good. So Darla, you got the dog, and here is a dog. This looks like a shaman, right? It looks like they're going on some sort of psychedelic or shamanic trip. And of course, the dog is leading them through the underworld, leading them through this trip, through this journey. And so Darla, this would make a very good omen for you if you wanted to travel or if you wanted to participate in ceremonies. This is a very good omen for connection to spirituality. If you hadn't had anything like that planned, now is the time to maybe look into shamanic journey. And you can achieve this through drumming or through meditation or even through Reiki self-practice, those kinds of things. So what this says to me is that you are to go on a trip, essentially. You don't have to do mushrooms, dude. I'm not telling you to do mushrooms or anything like that. That's crazy. Not that kind of trip. You could do that trip, but I don't, it's not legal, so I can't endorse it. But go on some sort of trip, a mental trip, a mental journey, maybe even guided meditation. Guided meditation would be good. Yeah. Now my face is getting hot. Okay, let's go ahead and read for Lizzie. And I'm going to go ahead and pull a 1-card reading for Lizzie. Anybody else who is joining on the stream, feel free to either stick around and watch the other life path readings, send me some dollars, or just comment and I'll get you a 1-card reading tonight as well. But here we go, Lizzie. We got 1 card for you. Oh, okay, Lizzie. So you got the Lord of the Princes, the Lord of the Princes. And this is one of my animal decks. So it's wild when the deities show up because there's not many of them. The Lord of the Princes speaks to a time in your life where you've done a lot of work and you've probably been feeling that. Like you've been feeling like you're going on like too much work, not enough balance in your life, and you're overdoing it right now. But the message of the Lord of the Princes is vindication, or in other words, the time of the harvest is near for you. So this would be, I would expect to get like breakthrough energy with this. Like, and this is probably very soon. I'm feeling in the next between 3 to 5 days, there's going to be like some sort of energy breakthrough for you, and things are going to go a little bit smoother heading forward in the future. And so I hope that one's helpful, Lizzie. But we're going to go ahead and we'll pull a life path reading now for Hilda, and then we'll do a life path reading for April. And thank you guys for sticking around on this stream. Like I said, these readings are super in depth, like way more in depth than Throat Punch Thursday, and they take quite a bit of time. Okay, Hilda, here we go. We got one card for you, and we've got body. Mind, emotion. Haha. This is going to be a doozy, Hilda. And spirit. Yeah. Oh, dang. Hilda. Wow. Goodness. This is a lot. I don't even know how to, like, where to begin. I guess I should begin at the ruling card, but wow. So Hilda, this energy, again, before I even like show you any of these cards, this denotes a lot of movement in your energy field, a lot of movement in the quantum timelines. So basically what I'm trying to say here is you've got a lot of energy. It's like your energy is like a crystal cool pool, and somebody just threw a cannonball in it, and it's like it's just like exploding. There's like a lot going on right now. And wow. So this also denotes to me transformation, the need for ritual, but also the need for shadow work, the need for messaging. There's a lot that comes up in this, Hilda. So let's go over the ruling energy first, right? So our ruler, you got Shodal. And you can see it's this person, and they're falling into the underworld. It's pretty wild. They're like head over butt, basically, or feet over head, and they're just whoosh, tumbling. Yeah. Shodal is one of the lords of the underworld. Shodal oftentimes heralds a period of time where unprecedented transformation will occur. Okay, unprecedented transformation. Or maybe you've experienced real wild times in the past where you felt like there was a lot of transformation. It will be like that. If you haven't, this will be like none other. So Hilda, the message for Shodal, the underworld, is to hold on. It can feel like you don't, like when we did Kayla's reading, I mentioned that she probably does feel a lot of spiritual connection. When you get the underworld card, sometimes it feels like you're alone. It feels like it's one of those times where you're just kind of walking and you're hoping that things end up okay. And you just, sometimes you even lose faith. Like you're just really tired and really sad. And it feels like there's a lot of like almost energetic bombardment. The message through dark times is to understand that there were times in the past where you felt bright, you felt spiritual connection, you felt flow, you felt like everything was going your way. And so these times manifest to teach us important lessons. A lot of times people get put under pressure, like under big pressure, spiritual pressure, physical pressure, all kinds of pressure. We get put under pressure because it shapes us and it transforms us and it creates something that makes us different. Okay. And so when I think of Shodal and the underworld, I think of the message of cacao, the medicine of cacao. And so cacao is this little hard bean, like even harder than a coffee bean. You roast the cacao and then you beat the cacao. You pulverize this cacao bean, and then it turns into something that looks like a red dirt, like a dust almost, and it's very gritty. And if you are making cacao by hand, by the time you do this process, I mean, you've been pulverizing this cacao for hours, and it's still not even anything that is edible. And that time is exactly what it's like when you're stepping through the underworld. It's like I have been so pulverized that I am gritty. and I'm not enjoying this at all. But as you continue to pulverize, as you continue to refine, as you continue to transmute that cacao, it eventually turns into a rich, creamy liquid. That gritty substance turns into the most delectable and probably sought after texture and taste in the world. And so the message to you is, you are a sweet little cacao bean right now, and you are going to experience a lot of refinement in the coming months. Probably, I would say this is a month cycle, and probably between 3 months and 8 months. It depends on how you work through everything. So I hope that's helpful. But now moving forward, Hilda, we've got Shotel, we've got underworld energy for the ruling energy of all of these cards. So moving forward, let's look at the body, okay? Let's look at the body. So Hilda, you got Ekatal, wind or spirit. And so you see this person, they are meditating, and they're like almost like transforming. Like they've got like this jaguar tail coming out their behind, and they've got like a dragon flying out of their head. This is a message of transformation, especially in the body. If you like wanted to do anything to transform your body, if you were looking at exercise, diets, these kinds of things, and you wanted to get super strong or to change your image, Ekatal in the body could mean that you have that ability right now. We always have the ability to change ourselves, but you have strong energy alignment right now. So if you wanted to make a change in your body, it would be easier to do that. I'm not saying that that's what the card suggests that you do. You don't have to go change your image or change the way your body is. It's not a recommendation. It's more saying that if you were interested in this, the energy is harmonious, basically, for that kind of movement. This can also be a message, though, that you need to practice awareness in your body. Okay. And so body awareness is a very beautiful thing. And I think it's something that a lot of us are lacking, because we don't touch ourselves enough. We don't touch each other enough. And we don't have awareness of our body. A lot of us don't even move enough. Okay. So when you get a Ekatal in the body, this could be a message to pick up a practice like Tai Chi, right? Like Tai Chi, yoga, Qigong, what's it called? Tensegrity. Any of these energetic movement practices would be really good and really helpful for you at this moment. It would help you actually develop a better spiritual connection if you have better body awareness. And so whatever feels right? Whatever feels normal, whatever feels attainable, whatever feels like you could do it consistently, that's what you should do. Even if you're like, I'm talking to you about like tensegrity and Qigong, and you're like, no, yoga, no. Even if you did like dancing, like belly dancing, or just like jumping around your house, put Santana on. I love Santana, and I love to dance to Santana. So just like put Santana on, like move your hips and like wiggle. That would increase body awareness for you, or even walking, things like that. But now is the time to develop your body, mind, spirit connection through what you do with your body. And like I said, so this is a message for you to pick up some sort of body awareness practice, because that will help you not just in your body, but in your mind, in your spiritual connection. It will help achieve congruence and fluidity amongst all of your different energetic bodies and your physical bodies. And so moving on, Hilda, you get Olin in the Olin movement in the mind. Okay. In the mind, you get movement. And so this is a wild card where it's like there's a lot going on. This is a person who has died, and it is showing the movement that the body takes after death. And so even though this person is dead, right, movement's like the only quality of life, right? It's the only way that you can be sure that something is alive, right? Is it moving? Even in death, this subtle, still state, there is still so much movement. And so I feel like the death aspect and the underworld aspect, again, from the ruler, Shotel, they very much align. There's a deeper theme that is unwrapping, unfolding in this reading, Hilda. And this is a message for you that that things are very much moving in your mind. You've got a lot of moving energy. I really feel like the moving energy, a lot of times, let me explain what that means. A lot of times that can mean like cyclical thought patterns, right? So it can mean that you keep having thoughts that repeat themselves, or you feel like your thoughts are like out of control, and you're just like, you like think something and you're like, oh my God, why did I even think that? That's so horrible. Like your thoughts just kind of pop off and you feel like there's no control or meter or like reason to your thoughts. They're just like running and moving. And so when you experience times like that, it can be very good to practice inner silence, and it can help you in transforming. So like I said, I feel like the Sodal Underworld Ruler card is a really big message of like moving forward and transformation. So if you're experiencing a lot of moving energy in the mind, you can practice inner silence and make your mind quiet. Okay. And so the easiest way that I found to practice inner silence, bad kitty, those are my flowers. Sorry, my kitty's taking my flowers. I've got these beautiful lavender flowers. But the easiest way to practice inner silence in the mind is to listen to somebody else speak. And so you can do that, you know, watching a YouTube video, because nobody is going to speak back to you. Or you can practice this in conversation. I feel like when you practice inner silence in conversation, it helps you move forward and really, I mean really practice conscious communication. Like too often we experience energy where we are talking to somebody and we're thinking about what we're going to say next, instead of really sitting with that person, really sitting with their energy and really understanding what they need. And so this is a message that your mind is moving too much. Don't be afraid, because movement is a quality of life. Movement means that you are uplifting, elevating, kind of leveling up in the mind. These are all good things, but don't let the energy in your mind overtake you. Don't let it make you feel like you are out of control or anything like that. Anybody who is still watching this live stream, if y'all would like a reading, just comment and I'll get you a 1-card reading, or you can go ahead and send me some dollars on PayPal and I will do one of these LifePath readings for you. And so, Hilda, the message here for Olin movement in the mind is now is the time to practice more silence. And like I said, I really do feel like that ekatol in the body is going to help you practice integration and, like I said, confluence, almost like smoothing out the connection between your body, mind, and spirit. So I really feel like the first card and the second card, they go very well together, almost hand in hand. It's a perfect message. So the last 2 cards, Hilda, are super heavy. I feel like they're really heavy cards. I usually get these cards when people have been through stuff, like a lot of stuff. And so, not to scare you or anything, but the next card that we're going to look at is what's going on in your emotions and your relationships. The card we get is Tonal Water. Tonal Water. Tonal. And so Tonal is the feminine principle of water. In this card, you see a woman. She's probably an older woman, and she is performing a ceremony where, you know, everybody in the town has had some sort of sacred fire ceremony, and she's putting out the fire, and that creates steam. And so this is talking about the, you know, healing and purgative and also restorative effects of water. When you get water in the emotions, this means that you have not, again, this is a message of confluence, right? In body, mind, spirit connection. You have not truly, on a spiritual level, understood everything that you've been through physically, and how the things that you have been through physically relate to and affect your spiritual life, relate and to affect your emotional life, your emotional energy. And so sometimes you react with unstable emotions because you don't actually realize how much the physical world has affected you. When you get Tonal water in the emotions, it's also a very strong message that you have stagnancy. You have stagnancy, like pond water in your emotions, instead of moving energy like a river, right? And so that's another thing that we look for when we do energy work, or when I do readings. I look for blockages in people's energy, but I also look for stagnant energy. So you could have so much energy, like so much, but if it's not moving and it's like a puddle, it can cause like almost like mold, like spiritual mold or something like that. And it's not making the best use of your energetic resources. So what you need to do is you got to get that water moving again. You got to get that energy moving again. A lot of times Tonal water in the emotions denotes a need for ritual, and specifically purification. And now remember, purification is not a dirty word, right? We don't purify ourselves because we are dirty or we are sinful. We purify ourselves because we're stagnant pond water and we need to get moving again. We need to be like the river. We need to be flowing and moving and changing, and not like a dirty puddle that just sits there, and there's like mosquitoes growing in it and then gross stuff, algae, I don't know. So how can we get things moving for you again? Like I said, a lot of times this denotes a need for ritual. Sometimes it denotes a need for ritual with water. Maybe you go to a healing spring and you get a ritual that way, a purification ritual that way. Hi, Nora on YouTube. If you'd like a 1-card reading, feel free to comment and let me know. And if you'd like a LifePath reading, send me some cash. But Hilda, this denotes a need for ritual in your body to help you understand and establish that body-mind connection in your soul, in your spirit, in your energy. And so like I said, going to a spring, this is a good thing. Doing some sort of ritual bathing, like a ritual bath or something like that, that could be really good. If you know or have connections with people who do sweats, that could be really good. That could be really purifying for your soul. Sweats are not exactly water rituals, but they can be, I think, if they add steam. I think it can utilize water property as well. I'm not a master, or I don't really even know much about sweats. That's not something I do or I offer, not my culture. But again, I feel like it could be really powerful medicine for you. So these are things that I would be thinking about. How can we do ritual to increase kind of the movement and the energy? And, you know, a way that you can find stagnant energy in your life is to just look at what irritates you, first of all, and look at where you feel like you're just not moving enough. And that could be a really good indication for you to move forward and to help you. Now, the last card we'll look at is Masado Deer, and this is your spirit card. And when this card comes up in the reading, the deer, this is a message not from me. This is a message from Great Spirit that now is the time for you to seek spiritual connection. And again, not in a way that somebody else facilitates, right? You don't need some sort of teacher, healer, shaman, whatever, intuitive. You don't need somebody to take you out into the woods to teach you about spiritual connection. This is something that you do yourself. This is a message that Spirit wants to contact you. This is Spirit picking up the phone, ringing. Will you answer? Will you pick up the phone and answer? When you are meant to receive a spiritual message, it's not like it's just going to pop up one day like an IM or something. Like, oh my God, my age is showing. I'm thinking about AIM, but instant messenger with AOL. But it's not just going to pop up like that, right? You have to put some work in to receive this message, okay? And so what I mean by this is, again, this is another really strong indication or message for the need for ritual in your life. A lot of times when Masado Deer comes up, you are meant to take something like a vision quest. Like you are meant to get your body, mind, spirit, emotion so healthy that you could, in theory, go out into the woods and leave yourself there for 2 or 3 days until you get a message from Spirit. I feel like a lot of people in modern world are not going to go out and actually do vision quests. Maybe you will. Either way, it's still a message that Spirit wants to communicate with you. Maybe you have experiences with communicating with Spirit in the past. If you do those things again. Spirit, again, they want to reach out and talk to you. And not only do they want to talk to you, but this is a message. This is your underworld message. This is why you suffer. This is what you're working to transform into. This is a very important message. And it's not one that I can give to you. This is a message you must go seek out on yourself. I feel like some messages I can relate and some messages I can't, because sometimes if you hear it from somebody else, you will not take it seriously. So this is a message, a need for ritual, and a message that you must seek out this message. You must seek this out. Again, Spirit rings. Will you answer the call? Will you answer the call? And Hilda, that was a lot. That was a lot. But I hope that it was helpful. Like I said, PM if you have a need for clarity or anything like that. And I would love to help you further with that reading. But let's go ahead and see. Nora commented and said, when will I be in a relationship? Because I'm interested in this guy and I don't know if it will work out. So today, Nora, I'm offering 1-card reading. So we'll go ahead and pull a card to kind of see what the energy is like around this situation. And anybody else who is tuning in now to the live stream, feel free to comment, and I would love to get you a 1-card reading, or send me some cash and I will do a LifePath reading for you. So we've got the wolf, Nora, and the wolf is a symbol of mastery of self. So what this says to me is that I feel like you're at a place in your body and your mind and your spirit where you can be in a relationship at this time. And so, and it's okay. Like, it could even be a good thing. It could even be a healing thing for you. So I mean, if you're interested, I would pursue this idea of a relationship, because now is the time of self-mastery. You've done enough healing in yourself and your body and your mind and your spirit, where you're at the point where, yeah, you could have some fun with a relationship. It might even be a really great experience, maybe even a spiritual experience, something that you weren't expecting when you thought about getting into a relationship. But the card says, go for it. Go for it. So we're going to go ahead and continue on with the life path readings. And I'm going to go ahead and do a life path reading we'll do one for April, and then we can do one for Anna as well. Do a life path reading for Anna. So here we go, April. We're going to do one of these life path readings for you. I'm going to shuffle these Nagual cards. There we go. And we got body, mind, emotion, and spirit. Okay, April. So this is a lot too. This is a lot. So April, this is similarly to the last life path reading. This is a lot of moving energy. This is a lot of transformation. And this is a lot of, these are messages to me of integration, April. Integrating your shadow self. So possibly a call for more shadow work, but also have a little bit of fun with this. So let's get started. April, the card that is your, ruling energy is Ometioto. Ometioto, the Trinitarian duality. And so this is what this card looks like. It's kind of like a weird looking spider. This is very similar to like a Chinese yin and yang symbol. And so it's almost the exact same thing. It's about integrating both the light and the dark sides of ourself. And so and then you've also got the snake in this life path reading in your tonal cards. So this is a very strong message, that you cannot hate yourself into the version of yourself that you love. You cannot criticize yourself and hope that one day you wake up a better person. It's not how you do it. You cannot hate yourself into a better version of yourself. And there's been countless studies done in psychology that show if you are out to change yourself, or you're out to start a new habit, or you're out to do things differently for yourself, the best way to do it is through compassion. And those who adopt a compassionate mindset do way better than anybody else in this effort to do transformation, this effort to do shadow work, and this effort to be a better person. You do much better if you have a compassionate mindset. So when Ometioto comes up, it's almost like a message of a pyramid, right? A lot of times we think of ourselves as one manifestation. We're one thing. We are what we show to the world, and that's all we are. And we're not. We are many things. In fact, we are this side of ourselves that we like, that we show to everybody else, that we enjoy, the side that we're proud of. And then we're this other side. We're this side that we hide from everybody else. We're this side that we're not so proud of. We're the side who sometimes thinks things and you're like, gosh, why did I even think of that? Or sometimes you criticize yourself or talk yourself into circles. That's this side. And so what you are not this side that you show everybody to yourself, or show the world to. You're not this public side of yourself, and you're not this inner side of yourself either. Instead, you're like a pyramid where you are this divine manifestation of two opposing forces. And so Ometioto is a message of opposing forces. It is a message that you are the complete manifestation of all things good and all things bad in your life and in your experience. And so this is a strong message of self-love. This is a strong message of compassion for yourself, but also integrating your shadow side, integrating anything that bothers you, right? If you are walking down the road or in your job or what have you, even talking to your kids, and something they do really bothers you, this is a call to pick up a journal and to start doing shadow work and to say, somebody did this and it really bothered me. And then sit with that as long as you need to until you figure out why it bothered you. Most of the time when people make you angry or offend you or something bothers you, it's a reflection of something that bothers yourself. It's something that you do that you can't stand. And so this is a message for more shadow work. Really quick, Tina on Facebook says, hi, Tina. We're doing a free 1-card readings tonight, or we're doing paid LifePath readings. So if you'd like a free 1-card, just leave me a comment and let me know. And if you'd like a LifePath reading, send me some dollars. And April, let's keep moving forward now. So we got our ruling energy, right? Ometeotl, the manifestation of two harmonizing opposites. When Ometeotl comes up, I always want to pose this question to everybody who is watching these live streams. What if there were no enemies in the world? What if there were only harmonizing opposites, harmonizing energies that brought out the best in each other? Not enemies, but opposites. So think of this. Think of the world as a perfect manifestation of opposing forces and not of good things and bad things. And I think that is the first step to living a more balanced life and to being more spiritually open-minded and balanced. It's realizing that nothing is good and nothing is bad. Energy just happens, and we are all moving together in these opposing forces. I just got a big uptick in people who are watching the stream. Please thumbs up, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And if you'd like a 1-card reading, please comment and let me know. If you would like a LifePath reading, send me some dollars. But let's move forward, April. We've got Ometeotl, ruling deity. Now we're going to look at what's going on in your body. We got Coatl, snake, for your body. Okay. And so the message of snake, it's again, this message of self-love and self-compassion. But honestly, when snake shows up in the body, it means that you're vital. It means that you're healthy, in other words. So I don't know, maybe you have taken some energy or some steps to pay more attention to your health, pay more attention to your body. Maybe you've been eating different or doing exercise. Coatl snake shows me, anyways, that you are healthy and vital right now, that there's no concerns for you in your health. But this can also be a message that maybe it's time to be more honest with yourself, okay? Especially about money. It's time to be more honest with yourself about money. If there's an admin watching, there's somebody on YouTube and you can get them. But so the message here now, April, is Coatl snake in your body is asking you to be honest with yourself about how you use money and how you use your resources. And so a lot of people always feel like they live paycheck to paycheck, or like they don't have enough money, or like they can't save enough for retirement or whatever else. And the real energy is that they are not being wise with their funds. And so while this could be a message of good health for you, it can also be a message that maybe you need to be a little bit more serious or creative with how you are using your resources, especially if you find yourself unhappy or unbalanced in those resources. Moving forward, April, you got Itsuquinti in the mind. And of course, Itsuquinti is the dog. And so the dog in this deck looks like this. It is this shaman preparing medicine, and who stands over him but the dog, right? The guardian of the shamans. And so when the dog comes up in the mind, a lot of times this is a message for you that it's time to go out and travel. It's time to go out and do something really super fun with your life, and really to see new people, to experience new cultures, and to do things differently, really. The message here is that you always remain the same person, even if you interact with different energies, okay? And so a lot of times this means that you should go travel and you should go see new people, places, experiences, but understand that your core being is still the same. When we can do this, when we can meet other people, meet other circumstances, see other situations, see other cultures and the way that other people live, it opens up our world, and it opens up our compassion centers, and it opens up our ideas about how the world works and how we can work within the world. So like I said, Itsuquinti dog is a message of travel. In your mind, it means that possibly you have grown a little rigid in your mind. And perhaps you're recycling through the same beliefs over and over again, and they might not be as beneficial to you as you think. So it could also be a message that maybe now is the time to seek more inspiration in your mind. Maybe you pick up a new book, like it's a self-help book or something like that. Or maybe you go through a used bookstore and you just pick up like a random book and you're like, this is the one I need. I do that a lot, and that's why I have like too many books. But this is a message of getting out there and really moving with your mind, April. in your relationship quadrant, in your love life, and all of these things. We get a Kotzal the read. A Kotzal the read. And so a Kotzal read teaches us a message of flexibility. What specifically comes to mind when I think about this is sometimes you push people away because your thoughts are too strong. So your manifestation of who you are is so strong and you're so confident in who you are that sometimes people find you unapproachable. And so if strangers find you unapproachable, who cares? But if it's your family or people you care about and they find you unapproachable, sometimes that can be a problem. So this is a message to maybe look at the manifestation of who you are. And are you too harsh to people sometimes, especially people that you love? Are you too hard on people because you love them too much? And so not that we can love people too much, but sometimes we're just a little ferocious for people. We're a little bit too much fire and people can't handle it all. And so the message of a Kotzal read is to be a little bit softer, a little bit more pliable, a little bit more flexible, because there's so much strength in that flexibility. So instead of seeing everything as one way, try to see everybody's viewpoints, and that will open you up to some really interesting and good conversations. The message of the read is that there are people close to you in your life, and that your rigidity can sometimes push you away from them, and that a lot of times you listen to the words that they say instead of listening to what their soul is trying to communicate to you. And I mean, I think humans are really silly, and I think sometimes when we are feeling high emotions and high energy, we get we get rigid and we get offended, I guess is the word. And we tend to say things that we don't mean. So this could also be a message that maybe there's been some high energy going on, maybe with your family or with people who you're close to, and they have been saying things that are not the nicest to you. Don't take those things to heart. Try to see what they mean. Try to see what their soul is saying and be a little bit more flexible. The last card we'll look at, April, is Mikitsi, Death. This is your spirit. April, this means more transformation. More transformation up ahead. I would suggest with the ruling energy being Ometeyoto that with Mikitsi, Death showing up in it means that you're going to become a different spiritual person than you are now. This could mean that you're going to get rid of a lot of spiritual beliefs. I feel like that's always really super hard. If you're like a super like into it spiritual person, and that's a really big part of your life, and you've got a lot of ideas about how spirituality works, I feel like spirit is always like, haha, you think you have it figured out. Actually, you don't have anything figured out. And so I feel like this means that you are going to be entering a time period in your life where things kind of flip on their head. Maybe it's like a tower moment type thing, and you're going to be experiencing more transformation, especially in the spirit. And remember, death does not mean a curse or something like that. You see, death sits on a throne and he extends his hands out, and his hands are extended in blessing. So this transformation, do not see this as a curse or as something that's bad for you. See this as what it is. It is a blessing, and it is a very good thing, because this card right here, this dog card in your mind, this denotes that your mind is a little stagnant. So maybe what you need is this death energy and the spirit to come and like really shake things up and change things for you. And April, I hope that was helpful. And yeah, thanks for tuning in tonight. So real quick, we'll check out the stream comments. And we've got Tina, who would like a 1-card reading, and then Jazz, who would like a 1-card reading on YouTube. So anybody who is still watching this stream, if you would like a 1-card reading, just go ahead and comment, and I'll get you that. If you'd like one of those really super in-depth LifePath readings, send me some dollars on PayPal. My payment links are listed in this. So Tina, let's go ahead and get this 1 card for you, and we'll just do a general reading, and then we'll read for Jazz, and then we will read for Anna Hamilton. Okay, Tina. Oh, okay. So Tina, the card that I picked for you is the Vulture. And the Vulture is a message of smarter, not harder. That's what I think of when I think of the Vulture. And so Tina, this card means that maybe you have been doing things the hard way, or you've been working too hard, and there's really like a shortcut, or there's an easy way around. And people who are more like the Vulture are easygoing, and they're willing to take opportunities that other people normally don't see. Okay. So this is a strong message, Tina, that it's okay to take interesting out of the box solutions. And if you have had like interesting solutions kind of like pop up in your mind, you know, about life or about problems that you're experiencing, and like there's people around you, like, you know, parents or people who are close to you, friends or whatever, and they're like, that's stupid. Like, you should not do that out of the box solution. And you're like thinking to yourself, this makes so much sense. And everybody's telling you, don't do this thing. You should probably do it. You should probably do it. Go with your gut with this. Go with your intuition. A lot of people say there are no shortcuts in life. And they say things like, you can't, you know, you have to do things the hard way. You have to work so hard to earn whatever. That's not true. That's not true. Tina, you have a very strong intuition and a very strong sense of energy. And so, you know, if a solution presents itself, you know that this is the path that you should take, regardless of what other people are telling you. Okay. So like I said, this is a strong message, strong indication that you're on the right path and that you're looking at out of the box solutions that other people might not appreciate. But they're good solutions for you. They're very good for you. And let's go ahead and read for Jazz next, and then we'll go ahead and read for Anna. We're going to do a life path for Anna. And so Jazz says, the person whom I love, will they reconcile? Let's see. Let's see what this one card reading could have to say. Teach yourself. Teach yourself. So the message that you get, Jazz, you get the monkey. I strongly feel like this person is not a long-term partner for you. Instead, they are a lesson. The monkey is a message of wisdom. It's a message of watching and observing everything that's going on in your life and becoming smarter because of the things that you see. And so it seems to me like a lesson and not so much like we should move forward with this person. Yeah, I hope that one helps. But yeah, let's jump forward and let's do another one of these really cool life path readings. I think these are so super fun and I have so much fun doing them. I really love these. So we'll go ahead and shuffle and then we'll pull for Anna. And anybody else who might be jumping on the live stream, if you're interested in getting one of these life path readings, I've got my payment links listed in the description. Jazz, you're very welcome. I hope that was helpful. Ooh, Wissalapachel. You got, Anna, you got the left-hand hummingbird. It's kind of like Mars, like the god of war for your ruling energy. Very interesting. All right, Anna, I got one card. Two cards. Okay, we'll go emotions. And finally, spirit. Oh, that one jumped out, so that's yours. Okay, Anna. Wichlapachli. Here you go. So this is the left-hand hummingbird god. This is the god of war. It was the god of war for the Aztecs and a manifestation of war for the Toltecs as well. And so this is a message of tenacity. And so interestingly enough, the Aztec symbol of war was not like a dragon or like a jaguar or like, I don't know, some like really strong, fearsome creature. The Aztecs chose the hummingbird as their mascot of war, essentially. And the reason why they did this is because the hummingbird has the largest heart in relative comparison to their size of their body of any animal in the animal kingdom. Okay, so the hummingbird literally has the biggest heart out of any animal. So this is a message of heart, Anna. This is a message of tenacity. Tenacity. This is a message of, you know, a warrior doesn't go into battle every day because they know they're going to win every single time. A warrior goes into battle because they know they'll fail. And they know beyond a shadow of a doubt that they will get back up again. Not because that they will win, but because they are tenacious. So this is ultimately, Anna, a message of tenacity, a message of heart. Okay, so this is the message that you are the hummingbird, that you have the most heart, probably the most heart of a lot of people in your friend circle, maybe a lot of people in your family circle as well. You have the biggest heart. And so when you have a big heart, it's a really big responsibility. And you care for people a lot. And a lot of times you can have a lot of imbalance in equal energy in your heart because you're caring so much for others and you forget to care for yourself. So, of course, this is a message of divine balance, but also a message of tenacity, that you keep going, not because you win, not because you have to, not because somebody told you to, but because you are tenacious, because nobody can tear you down. Nobody. So the first thing we're going to look at, Anna, is we're going to look at the energy of your body, of what's going on in the body. And we got Kuatili, the eagle. Kuatili. And so you see this guy, he's playing a sacred ball game. And he's totally painted black, which is like a symbol that he's given up all of his earthly possessions. He's like super serious about spirit now. So he painted himself black. But this is a message always of elevating yourself and elevating your perspective. So when this Kuatili ego comes in the body to give you a message, this means you need to really elevate your perspective about your body, about what you think about your body, about what your body has given to you, what your body has done for you. And so this is a very strong message, Anna, that you need to be thankful to your body and happy that you have your body, because it has given you so much. And sometimes that's too hard, right? Sometimes it's too hard to look at your body in the mirror and to say, like, yeah, man, I love you. Like, I love all of this. Sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes it's almost impossible to come to that place of absolute love and acceptance in the body. Why is it impossible? Well, because we all watch TV every day, and we all watch, we're on Facebook and watching our friends post these pictures of themselves, and we look at the magazines and all the news stories. And even if we watch the news, all the little news anchors are so cute in their little dresses and suits. And that's not a lot of times what real people look like. And so we have everything in the world that shows us what, bodies should look like and how they should appear and what they should work like. And we don't look at ourselves realistically. We don't look at ourselves like, you know what? This is me, and I ferociously love me because I am alive today, because my body has given me everything. It's given me my children. It's given me my health. It's given me my ability to live. My body is my divine container for my spirit, my divine container. And I have this body. It's the only body I have. It's the only way that I can house my spirit and be a physical manifestation on this earth. It's the only way. Anna says ugly crying. Oh, no ugly crying. If you ugly cry, it's because the tears are releasing energy from your soul. And so if you are crying, it is only to purify and to be happy. So when Kuatili and the eagle shows up, what I would very strongly recommend is to do, So Anna says with health struggles that she has, she feels like her body's let her down. Yeah, no, I can, Anna, I could definitely relate to that. I can so much relate to that. So much, very much. And the message here is that your body is still this beautiful container, And many people live with many ailments and issues for a very long time. And so sometimes the message is to just make the most of what this container means for you. And it doesn't mean what it means to everybody else. But the message, what I would do, what I would focus on, and this might be very difficult, right? You cannot come to self-love of your body, looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, yes, I love all of this. Then at least come to a neutral point, you look at your body and you don't feel anything. You don't feel positive or negative. Okay. That's better than looking at your body and saying, I hate you, right? So at least come to a neutral point. But something that you can try is when you're trying to sleep at night, when you're rested and relaxed in a good position, close your eyes and start at your feet. Thank you. I love my feet. Because they carry me places. And then move up. And then thank you. I love my legs. I love my muscles. I love my ability to walk. I love my ability to stand and to be in the earth. And then come up and go all the way up your body, right? Do a thankfulness meditation for your body. Thank each and every body part before you go to sleep, or perhaps when you wake up in the morning. this is a really great way to put yourself to sleep, and it puts you in the mindset of compassion towards your own body. It puts you in the mindset of you are not separate from your body. You are not a spirit experiencing what your body has done to you. You are a spirit and a mind and a body all connected, and you are all simultaneously experiencing this together. Okay. And I hope that one's a little helpful. That's hard. That's really hard. And so the next card that we're going to look at, Anna, is the mind quadrant. And you've got Kiawitl in the mind. And Kiawitl is a message of like strength and growth and all things that are growing in your mind, all things that are growing. I would strongly recommend here to fill yourself up with good things. All right. I talk about it a lot on my, Patreon and on live readings about how there's so much just oppression and negative influence in the world, just so much. I don't care if it's on YouTube or if it's news stories or just your Facebook newsfeed or just people randomly talking to you. There's so much oppression. So now is the time to fill your mind up with good things, with nurturing things. So again, put on, maybe some meditation music, put on your favorite inspirational speaker and let them speak to you. Read an audiobook that is uplifting to you. Read something that makes you happy. Go paint, go draw. You need to do something right now to fill up your mind and to, fertilize your mind, if you will. And that will help you. I really do feel like that will help you. There is a really cool meditation that I used to listen to, like, swear to God, like every day when I was really sick a couple years ago. And it was a meditation by Louise Hay, and it's something like you can heal your life. But if you look up Louise Hay and healing and meditation, you will be able to find what I'm talking about, Anna. And this woman, I don't know if you know about Louise Hay, but she beat cancer. Like, she had cancer and she walked into, this oncologist office, and they were like, you're going to die like real soon. And she was like, cool, no, I'm not. And then she healed herself from cancer. She just woke up one day and realized that she didn't have cancer, and she was just not going to live that timeline. And so it's really cool. I don't know if we can all be like Louise Hay and just think ourselves out of cancer. I don't know if we're all that cool. What I can tell you is at least it made me feel better. At least it made me feel better. If it did not heal me completely, it made me feel better. So look up that. And if that doesn't resonate, just look up things that can fertilize your mind, that keep your mind happy. Lizzie said she wants to get a cool reading too. Yes, Lizzie, you're next. Okay, Anna, so the next card that we're going to look at is your emotion and relationship card. And you got the same one that April got. You got a Kotl read. And so this is a picture of Mother Earth, and she's doing like this protective ceremonial dance, sort of. And she's protecting little humans. Very beautiful. This could be a message of protection, right? Amy, I'll read for you after I finish with Anna's reading. But this could be a message of protection. Anna, this typically means, if it comes in the emotion and relationship quadrant, that you're the protector right now. You're the protector. And so maybe you've noticed, whether it's in the world or whether it's outside influence, somewhere in your family or people who are close to you, there's just a lot of upset energy right now, especially in the emotions. People's emotions are very high right now and very upset. And sometimes that upsetness, it gets turned around on you, where people just get upset with you because they're upset about circumstances. And that can feel really hard, especially if you're already feeling some kind of way about yourself. And then everybody else around you is like, like complaining about their little problems, when you're like, the world is falling down on top of my shoulders and I'm trying to hold it up while I'm being crushed. But you're complaining to me about these silly issues. And like, they're really important issues to other people, but to you, they're silly, they're trivial. But you're trying to like hold up the weight of everything else while these people are coming to complain to you. So it can feel very crushing, very crushing. And the message for this is always flexibility. It's always flexibility. It's always flexibility. So try and see people for what they are trying to share with you. Try to see people for their soul and not for all of the meaningless words, because words are meaningless. They truly are. Words are nothing, right? Words are a way that we express our emotion and our spirit. What is really important is our spirit. What's really important is our energy. And not everybody has the ability to tune out all of the mess, all the tonal, all of the material, and to actually get down to business, to get down to energy. Anna, getting a cocktail in the read tells me that you are able to tune into people's energy. And so try to use your ability to tune into people's energy to cut away all the bullshit in life and to tune into what is really super important, especially in your communication. This could be a message of the unhealed empath, right? It could also be a message that sometimes when people dump on you, Amy says they needed the word tonal. Yes. But a lot of times when people dump on you, Anna, you feel like you feel their pain, right? You feel what they're going through, and it hurts so bad. And so that's a sign of being an unhealed empath. That's a sign of you're feeling things so deeply that you're allowing yourself to go into that pain space. And you can't heal somebody if you are also sick. So if you stoop down into their level of pain, you can't help them out of it, right? And it takes work. It takes work. What you need to practice, especially if you're having communications like this where people are dragging you down with their emotions, what you need to do is to practice grounding, to be so grounded and centered and firm and good and balanced in your own body and your own energy that what they say bounces off to you. And you're like, yes, I can feel that. Yes, I can empathize with that. But no, it does not destroy me. It does not destroy me. And that is a step forward to becoming a healed empath where, yes, I can feel this, but I won't let it destroy me. Like I said, you cannot heal people. You cannot heal their illness by getting sick with them. You can't do it. And so I hope that one's helpful. And then Anna, the last card that we will look at is your spirit, okay? And you've got Olin movement in your spirit. This came up in April's reading too, huh? And so this is your spirit. This says that you are experiencing movement. It's almost like everything has really built up and then now your spirit is just dissipating and it's going a million different directions because you are reaching out, you are growing, you are expanding, and you are becoming something new, something different. I would suggest that this is an act, a time period in your life that happens to you before you hit a level up spiritually. So what I think is that you're in the process of integrating some unstable energies right now. And when you do that work of integration, which you will do this work through tenacity, through your spirit, through your unbreakable, unmatched warrior spirit, you will do this work. And as you do this work, it elevates you. It changes your perspective. It changes your spirit. And after you go through this, you feel like a stronger spiritual person. Like you feel stronger, more connected, more whole, more balanced. Like, I don't know what all this is about, but whatever it is, it helps you unlock and integrate. And I think the way out is through, and I really feel like this card is probably what I would say is the most influential, right? The Kiwito rain in your mind. You need to nurture your mind because there's so much going in the opposite direction. And like I said, it can really drag you down. And if you allow yourself to be dragged down, it's very hard to pull yourself back up again because you can spiral. I know all about the spiral, man. It's really rough. So instead of allowing yourself to sit and to spiral and to feel everybody else's emotions, move forward, be strong, be tenacious, and make sure you're filling yourself up, especially with media and with inspiration that helps you feel whole and put together. And hopefully that one's helpful. And so Lizzie, I will read for you I will do the life path reading next for you. But first I'm going to go ahead and do this one card reading for Amy. And so anybody else who is watching this live stream, feel free to comment and I'll get you a one card reading. Or if you'd like one of these super wow in-depth life path readings, go ahead and send me some dollars on PayPal. Anna says, thank you. You're very welcome, Anna. I hope that one was helpful. And these readings do take quite a long time. So thank you all for sitting and watching. I appreciate you. So we'll go ahead and we'll pull this card for Amy. Ooh, Amy, you got Coatl. You got the snake. I'll show you him. And this card, he is really like bright and beautiful. So the snake is a message of vitality. I think when the snake comes up, it's usually like a good omen. It's an omen that... Oh, how did I get your screen to your... Oh, I can highlight comments, Amy. Oh, now I can't highlight it, of course. Oh, there we go. No, I can highlight comments on this live stream. It's super cool. But you got the snake, which is a message of vitality. It's a message of good, strong energy. And really, it's a message of honesty as well. And so what the snake could mean for you is that you have a lot of vitality right now. You have a lot of energy. And when you have a lot of free energy, now is the time to use it. I feel like sometimes we go through energetic alignment and seasons in our life where we don't have enough energy and we just feel like we can't catch up. Now is not the time for you. You have energetic surplus, so do something with it. And also be honest with yourself, right? If you be honest with yourself in terms of energy, if you have people in your life that are taking your energy, it's time to really think about, should I allow these people to take my energy? Should I allow them to hold that emotional power over me? Or should I loosen the grips of their emotional grip on me? I don't even know how to say that. So be choosy with your power right now. Be choosy with the energy that you have. You have a lot of it right now, but if we continue to let people into our lives, if we continue to let people hold emotional power over us, sometimes it can drain our energy. And so be aware of that. You're doing good now, but keep up the good work. Basically, Amy, I hope that one helps. And then real quick, you mentioned tonal. So tonal, we've got cards here, right? These are our tonal cards and these are our Nagual cards. And so tonal is your material, right? That is everything that's going on in your material world. That's your house, your car, the experiences you have in life. And the Nagual is the bigger picture. It's the spirituality. It's the things that you cannot see. It's the divine concepts and lessons and cosmic that we experience in life. And so we should be balanced between the tonal and the Nagual, right? We should not all just be floating around in the spirit world, astral projecting all the time. We need to have some sort of balance. And so that's why we have to be grounded in the tonal. We have to have clothes. We have a nice place to live. We have to travel. We have to eat food. We have to enjoy our lives. But we also have to be part Nagual. We have to be able to perceive things that are imperceivable. And we have to balance, be harmonizing opposites with each other. And so let's go ahead and do this awesome reading for Lizzie now. She says it's a cool reading. You're awesome. But we're going to go ahead and do this life path reading for Lizzie. If you guys are still watching this stream and would like a life path reading, go send me some dollars and I will pull a reading for you. If you just want a one card reading, feel free to comment and I will also get one of those for you. Or just chill here with us and listen to all these real cool messages. And so we got your ruling energy, Lizzie. And we got body, mind, haha, emotions, and spirit. Very good. Okay, Lizzie. There's another abstract concept that we have to talk about before we go any further with this reading, okay? And that is the abstract concept of poderos. Poderos is like a term in like traditional Mexican medicine or in this Toltec Oracle. And it is an abstract concept that people, I don't want to say worshipped. They didn't worship it. They held such a reverence for these poderos because they understood the effects that these poderos had on their life. And so a podero is like a very big energy. Podero is like water. That's a podero. Fire is a podero. The earth, the mother earth is a podero. So these are very big, if you will, elementals or very big constructs or houses of energy that we should have a good connection to. And so I have to explain that before we get into more of your reading. The ruling energy that you got is Wiwiotl, grandfather fire. There are a couple of different ideas about like religion and cosmology and like the way the world was created between Western ideology and Toltec ideology. The Toltec, ancient Mesoamericans, believed that the world was not started because of the word, right? Christians in the Western world believes that the word created life. And Toltecs believed that the spark
created life. And so you get grandfather fire, the spark of everything, Wiwiotto, as your ruling energy. This is considered the oldest podiro. The oldest podiro. And so you can connect to the oldest podiro by holding a ceremony fire, or by having candles, right? By staring, by gazing into a flame. All of these are ways to connect with the divine podiro. And so you might think about getting Wiwiotto, grandfather fire, developing a relationship with fire as a podiro, as an elemental, as an important manifestation of spirituality in your life. Okay, so this is a message to be more spiritual, much like Tonatui. In this earlier reading, we got Tonatui as the ruler, right? Much like Tonatui, Wiwiotto asks you to be serious, right? To be serious, to say, or is my energy matching up with my results? Like, do I have this idea that I want these really big results, but I am not putting the energy out to match up with these results? Wiwiotto is often a message that you need to be more honest with yourself. And so let's talk about ceremony fire for a minute, right? A lot of times when Wiwiotto shows up in this type of reading, he is a message that you must go out and create a relationship with fire. So maybe you start a ceremony fire, you know. My favorite way to make ceremony fire is to gather special herbs, like things that smell good, that are pleasant. So maybe like peppermint, or I like lavender. That's really a great one too. Some people use sage, things like that. And you can put these beautiful herbs in your ceremony fire, and you can feed the fire lovingly and talk to the fire, speak to the fire, and tell the fire what your intention is. Tell the fire why you have created or summoned this ceremony, and then confess to the fire. Tell the fire your wrongdoings. Tell the fire what you don't measure up to in life. Tell the fire all of your worries and concerns. And as you are honest to the fire, you are honest to yourself. And it is a very healing medicine to be able to do that. And if you can just randomly start a ceremony fire and talk to it, it sounds wild, right? You are much more honest with yourself and your thoughts. And you are much more honest with your fellow humans. If you can hold this ceremony fire and speak into grandfather fire, you will be more honest with yourself. Even if it feels weird to do it, if it's the first time you've ever done ceremony fire, it can feel very strange, but this is medicine for you. This is good medicine. If you're like terrified of fire or have nowhere to build a fire, candles work too, right? Wiwiotto doesn't care if you summon a candle or if you summon a campfire. It doesn't matter. Gaze into a flame and confess into the flame. And and Lizzie says, I've been thinking about candles and I love fire. I love to just have a fire, so that sounds good. See, look, so you might, maybe Wiwiotto is calling out to you to ask you to be more serious about your connection with that podero, with that elemental, with that energy of fire, okay? So maybe you already know this in yourself. Maybe you already know, like, I am a firebug, I love fire, and now is the time to move forward and make a spiritual connection with the fire. So that's good. This is a very powerful podero. So I'm sorry I spent so much time on that, but it's important. And so the first card that we will look at is what's going on in your body, okay? And so we get Ekato, wind, or spirit. So spirit in your body. This showed up in an earlier reading, same position, which is interesting. But a lot of times when wind, spirit, Eakato comes up in the body, it means that you have to develop your body. Like you have to develop your connection to your body. So a lot of us, we go to work and we come home and we are so tired that we can barely exist and we just go to sleep. And we don't develop a connection to our body because we either feel like we don't have time or we're too busy. Now is the time to find time to make a connection with your body. And so what I suggested in one of the last readings was that now could be the moment where you start a qigong or yoga or tai chi or jujitsu. I mean, I don't know, any kind of body practice that increases your energetic awareness and your energetic connection to your body is going to be very good for you in this time. The message here is that literally the spirit of your body is reaching out to you and wanting to make connection with you, because you're not in as good a connection or as in tune as you possibly could be. And so I want to remind you that everything you do affects everything else. So if you are experiencing connection to the body by, practicing some sort of body awareness, like I said, yoga, even massage therapy can be a way for you to experience body integration and body awareness, right? So any of these practices, these healing practices that increase that awareness, that shows up and that manifests as spiritual connection as well. Every time you work to create connection in the body, you work to create connection somewhere else. And so Kalpana says, can I ask a question? Sure. I'm in the middle of a life path reading, but I will pull a 1-card reading for you after this. So now is the time to move forward and to create energy and awareness in your body. Okay, so this is very important. And goodness. So the next card, Lizzie, is your mind. And you've got Masato Deer in the mind. This is one of the most significant cards in this deck. It's one of the most significant. Okay, when this card comes up, this is not me speaking anymore. This is Great Spirit speaking to you. Okay, when Masato Deer shows up, it means that Great Spirit is asking you to basically schedule a meeting with Spirit and to receive a message. Now, when you get Masato in the mind, this message is meant to sustain you in ways that change your outlook and your mindset, okay? And so when you are to receive a message, again, this is not like, Spirit's going to send you a text or something like that. It's just going to pop up. Like, you have to do some footwork to get this message. And again, this is not a message that I can give to you. This is a message that you have to go out and hear for yourself. And so now is the time to prepare yourself to receive a message with Spirit. I would strongly suggest this has to do with fire. This definitely has to do with fire, or you can communicate with Spirit by your relationship to fire. Okay, so I would very strongly recommend, with Wiwiolto being the ruling energy of this reading, that now is the time for you to develop a relationship with a ceremonial fire. RBY just commented, I can read for you after I read for Kalpana, after I'm finished Lizzie's reading. And Phyllis, if you want a reading, I can read for you too after I'm finished with RBY. But moving forward, okay, Lizzie, this is real important, okay? So I would strongly suggest that ceremony fire is what you need in your life. And like I said, when Spirit wants to give you a message, it's not just going to pop up. You have to ask for it, and you have to make that spiritual connection. Do not go before Spirit and be unworthy. And so what I mean by that is do not try to use Spirit for your own personal gain, and do not go to Spirit and expect something. Do not expect anything. Do not set any expectations for this. And that's a very serious message for you. And so what I mean by this, I guess, is some people develop their relationship with Spirit and think, now I can get the Powerball numbers. I could get those Powerball numbers, but I'm not allowed to win it. And because the spirits will not let me. And so that might sound crazy to anybody who does not have a high level of spiritual awareness and connection. I am meant to make money in other ways. So while I could find those Powerball numbers with my connection to Spirit, I am not supposed to. I would get in big trouble if I did that. So do not go with expectations. Go with no expectations, and you need to go out and to reach Spirit when you feel that you have done enough work, when you feel like, yes, now is the time for me to hear this message. And that could be tomorrow, or that could be 2 weeks from now, or that could be 3 months from now. But either way, this should be on your mind. If I was you, I would journal this. I would put it in a planner or an agenda, and I would say, I am making a relationship with Spirit. I am going to do this through ceremony fire, through candles, and through burning things. And I am going to receive this message that sustains my life and changes my outlook, makes me healthier, more complete, more well-rounded. I am going to do all of these things, and I'm going to do it with connection to the Spirit. And that's a lot, Lizzie. That's a lot. And so the next card that we will look at is Kiowito Rain, right? And this is your emotions, right? And so this speaks to the idea that you have cut yourself off from a very important relationship, or possibly a couple relationships in your life. for whatever reason you've cut yourself off. Maybe you feel like those people are irritating, or maybe you feel like those people have hurt you in some way, or maybe you feel like those people are just not good for your life or your experience right now. And so again, this was a very, very tough card, but this exact same card came up in our previous reading earlier in the night. And this is hard to hear sometimes, because a lot of times we feel like we cut people out of our lives because we are protecting ourselves. Nothing anyone says or does to you can hurt you unless you are in alignment with that hurt, with that pain. If you are in alignment with your own best and highest good, it doesn't matter what people say to you. And so I want to, again, be very open and honest about my spiritual journey. And I want to tell people when I give this message that I did cut out family members for a very long time. In fact, a family member who raised me, I didn't speak to them for over a decade. And that was because I felt like I needed to do more healing and that they were toxic and they were going to hurt me. And it was true. It was true. If I would have talked to that person when I was unhealed, it would have been very painful for me. And it would have been create emotional and energetic imbalance for me. Now that I've done some more of my own healing, I have more self-control, I have more emotional control, I have more spiritual control. When they say things to try to hurt me, I think it's hilarious. It doesn't hurt me at all. I can see how that would have hurt an unhealed version of me, but I understand I'm not separate from this person. This person, in fact, is somebody who's very closely related to me, and nothing they can say to me can hurt me because I won't let it hurt me. These things are just funny to me because I see the energy, I see where they're coming from, I see why they're saying the things that they're saying, and I'm just like, that is so funny. And a different version of me would have allowed myself to be hurt by these hurtful things. And current version of me just says some really raunchy shit that makes a lot of people mad. So the message here is nobody can hurt you, especially if you're in a good place and you're feeling healed. So now is the time to come to either a place of neutrality or to be kinder and more nurturing to relationships in your life that maybe you have cut off. Maybe you have cut yourself off from these people, or you haven't made an effort to nurture these relationships for whatever reason. You're not separate. And so the message here is if you are cutting somebody off, you are actually denying a part of your heart. You're denying a part of yourself by cutting that energy off. And so do not cut anything or anyone off, because we're all one. We're all whole. We're all together. We're all humans. We all live on this earth. We all live on this planet. We're not separate. And instead of cutting people off and holding ill will and hatred towards them, at least learn to look at them in a neutral light. Learn to understand with compassionate eyes why they do the things that they do. It doesn't excuse them. It doesn't mean you have to forgive them. It doesn't mean you have to let them hurt you again. It simply means you have to view them at least in a neutral light. And if you can get there, maybe a compassionate light later. But whatever you're holding on to in terms of your emotions is painful. It's painful to you, and it's definitely blocking your energy, especially in the realm of your emotions. And I'm sorry, Lizzie, that was a lot. But moving forward, the energy of your spirit, this is really cool. The energy of your spirit is Xochitl the flower. Xochitl. The flower is a message of blooming and opening, and not like somebody gave you a random spiritual gift and it just popped up out of nowhere. This is a message of a spiritual opening, a spiritual blooming that you have nourished. So this is a message to me that you have been doing a lot of work as a spiritual person. You've been doing a lot of work to create spiritual connection in your life, to feel spirit, to feel that presence. This is more than likely why you got Masatl in the mind, right? You got this deer energy in the mind that says Great Spirit is reaching out to speak to you because of all of the work that you have done. You've done work to create this connection, to facilitate this connection. And so, like I said, now is the time to be a little bit more focused. Maybe we focus a little bit more on fire, right? Specifically fire and candles and this type of thing, connecting to that fire energy. Maybe fire is a complementary element to your life. Maybe it's a complementary element to your astrology. Maybe it makes you feel alive. Maybe it makes you feel magical. But now is the time to even further cultivate that. The energy of Xochitl flower means that things are blooming and coming to life, especially in spirituality. So I would suggest from this a message of enlightenment, really. I would expect to go through a time of feeling more alignment with spirit, feeling more alignment, especially. And so this might also be the time to ask yourself, what am I ready to give birth to? Okay, and this doesn't have to be a baby or a child or something like that. But this could be a really good message that you've had something in your mind for a while, like this dream, like this idea, like I've wanted to do this thing for a very long time. And you have talked yourself out of it probably at least 20 times. And you said, I just can't do it. I just don't have the money. I just don't have the time. I don't have the funds. I don't have the know-how. So Teal is telling you that right now is the time to follow your dreams. Right now is the time to give birth to a new project, to think about all of the things that you could bring life to think about all of these projects and how they could really help you and how they could really help humanity, how they could really help your community. You have a great idea inside of you that needs to be nurtured, that it's time for you to bring this idea to the world, to everybody, to life. And that's a big responsibility. That's a really big responsibility. It's quite possible that the message that you receive from doing this work is something that helps you bring that manifestation to life. So when I see this card spread, Lizzie, I see life-changing energy. I see life-changing movement for you, life-changing movement. I see that you have done a lot of work. And so again, my recommendations would be softer in your emotions, be softer, and practice spiritual connection and awareness, attunement with your body. Like I said, whether that's through Qigong, Tai Chi, yoga, Tensegrity, Jiu-Jitsu, martial arts, I don't care, man. Whatever you do something that harmonizes and integrates your body awareness. Darla usually watches these lives. Darla has done CrossFit for many years now. And Darla, I believe she uses CrossFit as like this spiritual attunement where she is very attuned with her body and the way she moves her body and her exercise and her energy and all that. That creates spiritual attunement and awareness for Darla. CrossFit is not my cup of tea, dude. So find some sort of spiritual practice that is also a movement practice that will be very much helpful for you, especially if you can be consistent with it, Lizzie. And something needs you need to bring something to life. And that was a lot of energy, a lot of movement, Lizzie. And I hope that was helpful. So let's get back to the comment guys over here. So we got Kalpana who says they want to ask a question. When will he communicate with me? And then RBY would like a reading. And then Phyllis would like a reading. And we'll go ahead and read for all these lovely people. Anybody else still watching the live stream, if you would like a reading, just comment and I'll get you a 1-card reading. And if you'd like one of those really in-depth readings, if you want those really in-depth readings, go ahead and send me some dollars. Lizzie says, I think it's so funny that you use the word birth and bring to life because I'm 34 weeks pregnant. Wow, Lizzie. I did not know that, but that is super cool. So the reading makes more sense to me now that you say that you're pregnant. I feel like pregnancy is a time of spiritual alignment and awakening and attunement. And I believe that when you go through pregnancy, you get cosmic downloads. That is a time of spiritual enlightenment because your soul, your mind, your energy is figuring out how to bring that soul that you are pregnant with. It's figuring out how to bring that soul into this physical plane. And it's figuring out all of the messages, the lessons, the advice, the wisdom that you need to raise this child. You are receiving so much right now, so much energy. So that is very interesting. The flower is a good message for you, especially. I would expect your pregnancy to be very healthy, even at the end. And I would expect your baby to be very healthy and your birth to go well. I'm not a mind reader or a miracle worker, but that's what I would expect from the card reading. So that's really cool. I'm glad of that, Lizzie. I'm glad to hear that. But let's go ahead and read for Kalpana and then RBY and then Phyllis. And Phyllis, thanks for sending that little sticker. That was really cute. So, Kalpana, when will he communicate with me? So you get Chuck, the god of rain. Kalpana, Chuck says that you need to be really serious about where you're putting your energy. I would suggest that this person you're asking about when they will communicate with you, if they communicate with you, they're not a good person, and do not reach out and let them communicate with you anymore. Find other people to communicate with. When you shut a door intentionally, a million other doors and opportunities open up to you, and this person is not, you don't want communication from them. They are taking away your energy, and you're sitting and worrying and wondering about them, and they're not even thinking of you. They're not even thinking of you right now. And so do not put your energy, your attention, your spiritual attunement, and all of your power towards this person who you're not even a thought in their mind. Not even a thought in their mind. Go put your energy, your well thought, caring nurture towards somebody else. Lizzie says, thank you so much. You're so welcome. I hope that was helpful. But let's go ahead and we'll read for RBY. We'll do a general 1-card reading for RBY. Let's see. And we pulled a skunk for you, RBY. Goodness. So the skunk is a message of like warning, like something prickly is going to happen to you. And so what that means is I would expect somebody to try to cause trouble for you, honestly. Or maybe it was today that somebody caused trouble for you. But I would expect that somebody in the near future or today had caused trouble for you. And it will upset your emotional balance for sure. It might even cause you a couple setbacks, right? It's nothing horrible. It's just one of those bumps in the road type thing. And it's nothing bad. It's only as bad as you make it. These things happen as a way for you to find inspiration and to innovate, right? When problems arise, when people try to cause problems for you, it's nothing bad. It's just a way for you to, oh, okay, this energy has shifted, and now I have to find a different alignment and a different path forward. So that's actually really cool, RBY. Not every problem is a problem. And let's go ahead and read for Phyllis now. Can I highlight that comment? Oh, I can't highlight it, but it's so cute. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this card for Phyllis. Okay. Ooh, Phyllis. Okay, so Phyllis, you got the monkey. The monkey is a symbol of wisdom. And the monkey means that you have the ability to learn new things right now. You have the ability to learn new things. And so what that means is maybe it's time for you to stop seeking outside validation. Maybe you are searching for that teacher, or you're searching for that person to just, give you the sign, give you the message. You're just waiting for answers, and you want somebody to show you the way. And the message here is teach yourself. Teach yourself. Now is the time for you to teach yourself. Stop searching for validation. Stop searching for other people's answers. Stop searching for other people's wisdom, because that fount of wisdom, that fount of energy, that fount of expression is found inside of you. You already have that. You don't need it from anybody else. Phyllis said, oh, wow, twice. I hope that was helpful, Phyllis. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a final reading, a general reading, and this will be energy that will help us stay balanced throughout the rest of this week. How can we stay balanced through the rest of this week? Anybody who's still watching this live stream, thank you so much. You guys are all awesome for tuning in, and I appreciate you all hitting the like button and the subscribe button and all that good stuff. If you love me, check out my Patreon. I offer people daily messages of inspiration over on Patreon. And so it's a way to stay, attuned to the energy of the day and to really understand what each day brings you. And I really enjoy writing those Patreon messages. So go over there and support me there. Phyllis says, very thankful, or thank you so much and very helpful. I'm glad that was helpful, Phyllis. But let's go ahead. We're going to jump in right now and do this final reading. This will be a general reading for the energy of this week and how we can stay in best alignment. And so our energy of the recent past shows us the ocelot, right? Ocelotl. This is like a jaguar, right? This is a symbol of magic, a symbol of secrets, a symbol of harmony. I believe that this card represents the full moon. We experience such an upgrade, such an attunement on the full moon on Thursday, and I really felt an energy shift. I really felt everything just change and shift, and it was different. And it almost felt like the full moon on Thursday was like a purification from all of that heavy Mercury retrograde energy. And I'll tell you guys what, it wasn't just Mercury retrograde that was rough. It was about 3 weeks before Mercury retrograde. It was almost like a 6-week cycle of like such heavy energy. So like, I really strongly feel like this card talks about the full moon and reaping those benefits and that purification and that just good harmony and balance, especially in our emotional energy. So looking forward to what we're experiencing right now today, what we're experiencing right now this week, this is what we need to know about right now today, right now this week. We've got the dove. We've got the dove. And of course, the dove is a symbol of healing, okay? A dove is a symbol of healing. And so we have the ability to integrate all of the lessons that we learned during retrograde. We have the ability to integrate. And I'll tell you all what, if you don't integrate now, you're going to have to integrate next retrograde season. And that's coming up in a couple months. So I would do the healing work now and integrate now. Again, a really good way to integrate is to journal. Write down every single time something pisses you off, when something makes you mad, when something irritates you, when somebody says something to you and it offends you, write it down in a journal somewhere. And when you write that down, you have the ability, you have the clarity to take it out of your mind and to actually see it for what it is. This is a great way to do shadow work. It's a great way to do shadow work. It's a great way to integrate. It's a great way to heal. It's a great way to move forward. And then moving forward, this is what we can expect from this week. This is what we can expect. We got the quail. Okay, so the dove and the quail are both birds that signify healing. This is specifically healing form of gifts. What I would expect is a lot of a balanced energy throughout the rest of this week, and I would expect a lot of people to get that message of heal, to get that message of integration, and to get that message of spiritual attunement and alignment. So thank you guys so much. I hope that this general reading was helpful, and I hope all the other readings that we did tonight were exceptionally helpful. As you guys know, I do go through and tag these videos. You'll be able to skip ahead different sections if you didn't catch your whole reading, or if you'd like to go back and kind of review your reading. Thank you guys so much. Please subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and share my channel with people so we can help it grow. That really super helps me. I love you guys, and I will be live again on Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time, to do another Throat Punch Thursday live free intuitive readings. Until then, have a good night, my friends.